I thought money was the goal. When I was a child, I would watch my mother come home from work every single day with swollen knees and swollen ankles, and I was just on my computer playing, and every time she would come home from work exhausted, I would go downstairs and I would tell her, "Mommy, I love you so much." I would take her jacket off as she was struggling to get off her shoes herself, and I told her, "Mommy, one day I'm going to be rich, so you never have to work again." In reality, I realize now that money wasn't the goal, freedom was. After that point, I started doing YouTube and trying to make all sorts of YouTube videos. And I think for years, I knew that I wanted to do YouTube, but I was stuck for years. I was just a kid and I didn't know exactly how to get to the point where I could make thousands of dollars so that my mother could retire. And so what ended up happening was I tried YouTube for many years. Throughout primary school, I did well in school, but I also had YouTube on the side. And during my final year of primary school, I actually did quite well. And so what I did was I decided to drop out, or not drop out, I decided to take a gap year off of primary school. So I had 1 year after finishing primary school to go to high school. After that, I worked as hard as possible during that gap year because I really wanted to see if YouTube could work. And what I realized was that for months at that point, I was still stuck. I had a little bit of success with YouTube. I made a little bit of money, so I could see how well and how you could actually make it, but I didn't know how to really replicate it and make it sustainable, because I'm not going to give my mother freedom by going viral and then dying. I needed a sustainable channel. So what ended up happening was I did quite well in my gap year. YouTube actually took off after finally many months of struggling. And so now I was repeating something that was working. And during towards the end of my gap year, before I had to go to high school, I was wondering if I should actually do it, go to high school, or continue with YouTube, because I really didn't think that school was the path for me. I ended up starting high school in August of 2022 after 1 year of no school. And immediately as I walk into the classroom or the introduction to the school, I was immediately thinking to myself, what the hell am I doing here? Why am I here? What is the purpose of this? So school starts and I end up doing quite all right. And I was doing YouTube videos at the same time, but I ended up getting extremely stressed because I had to do school and YouTube at the same time. And so I was mentally on one hand, and then I had to focus on this. And so it also took a very long time to make my videos. I am a gaming YouTuber, and recording and editing the videos takes forever. After a few months of doing that, I realized that I really cannot do this anymore. I ended up going to a math test about Pythagoras theorem, looking down on the paper sheet after it was handed, and I literally couldn't comprehend. I couldn't process anything about the test. I had a pounding headache, and I just ended up putting it down, handing it in, walking out of the classroom, and I think I cried myself out. After that, I took the bus and the train home. On the train, I cried because I literally thought, I cannot do this anymore. Like I was literally against the window of the train, trying to hold in my tears because it was also a bit loud for me to cry, but I kept on crying like that, pondering about what I should do. My mother, she was still working at this point. She was still working for a long time, and when she picked me up, I really didn't know how she would react, but she asked me what was wrong, did something happen? And I said, I can't do it. So after we went home and talked it out for a bit, turns out I had COVID, so maybe it wasn't my ability to do the test itself. But anyways, I still was so stressed, so I decided to talk down with my parents and I decided to drop out of high school. Talk to the teachers and everything. But at this point, the YouTube channel, after a few months of high school, had gone from $2,000 a month to $5,000. So it came rationally, I would say. And I knew that if I continued to grow the channel like this, I could earn so much more money and then my mother would be free. Only 3 months after dropping out, which was December 2022, I ended up making my first $10,000 month. And after that point, I really thought anything was possible. I was so happy to finally be able to do what I love. And my mother, she now could quit her job. And so I was so happy. But now I had another problem. While I had dropped out and retired my mother and such, I was continuing to do gaming videos. I got better at it, I got more views, I got more money, I got more success. But then I realized that maybe this isn't what I wanted. Back then I didn't know what it was, because I would try all of these different businesses, 1, 2, 1, 2. I would try them for a few days, weeks, months, and then delete them when they started to take away too much time from my gaming videos, or I just deleted them because I didn't want to take any risks, because if I spend less time on my gaming channel, then maybe my income drops and then my mother won't have freedom. But after years and after going through my first breakup, after our first real relationship, I realized that, okay, I've spent all these years as a gaming YouTuber and I've tried so many things. What will happen to my life if I keep on this trajectory? My gaming channel, actually, after 2024, has not been doing so well. It's still doing all right, but in a few years, what will happen is that I will start to lose relevancy, or I will feel stuck because I'm just doing the same thing over and over. I'm not learning anything. I'm stuck in my identity of being a gaming YouTuber, and I wanted to break out of that, but I didn't know how until I had my first breakup. And that was when I really started to contemplate life. And instead of going out drinking and stuff, I really contemplated everything. And I realized that, okay, now I want to become a millionaire. I'm going to try to make $1 million in the next month. And so now I wrote down the goal literally on a paper that I repeat to myself every day and every night, that I want to make 1 million crowns, so $100,000 a month. And I thought that that would make me happy, but I could have never guessed just how life-changing this would be. So after my breakup and stuff, I decided to do things that a millionaire would do. I watched a very good video about acting like the millionaire version of myself. So I wrote down things that would help me do that. And one of those things were to read for 30 minutes a day. I couldn't read before. I hadn't read a single book before I was 20, but I decided to read books now because it would align with my new identity of being a millionaire and going out for walks and being disciplined at the gym and stuff. And so what ended up happening was I went into this routine, and then what ended up happening was I discovered something completely different that I wanted to do. I thought my goal to become a millionaire was to do GTA 6 videos, because I'm a gaming YouTuber, right? So I would work on my current gaming channel until GTA 6 comes out, and then get lucky or maybe succeed with GTA 6, and then I would be happy ever after. But I think that that would get me stuck again. because what I realized was that I didn't want to be a gaming YouTuber forever. I, I wanted to impact people in a way that gaming videos couldn't. I love to communicate with people and teach people, and so what I did was I made gaming videos about entertainment, and that impacts people on a level of, okay, they get quick joy or relaxation or something, but I wanted to really help people with their lives. This kind of fulfillment. I want to change people's life, not just, you know, more surface level. I don't feel connected to my audience as well. And so what I realized was that reading books, and then I tried new things other than GTA 6. I tried to grow a gaming growth channel, helping YouTubers grow their gaming channels, and then that was fulfilling. But now that I'm doing this feels like my true self, actually, as speaking to the camera authentically and being able to express myself. And that would never have happened if I actually set the goal of making the money, because the money was just a way to get skills and knowledge that would guide me towards this path. You see, when you make a decision, in reality, you are being brought into currents that will bring you to places you could have never imagined. And when I made that decision to become a millionaire, I didn't think that it unironically changed my identity as well, because I was stuck in the identity of a gaming YouTuber. So now I spend less time on my gaming channel, and it's still doing well, but now I'm able to do everything aligned to me, and I'm still adjusting, I'm still learning, and as I'm growing, I'm getting closer to my true self. I think the goal is freedom, of course, for myself and my mother, but also being fulfilled with the work that you do, and aligning your work to your true characteristics and temperament. It's not about just doing one type of work. You are many people in you. I can do gaming videos, I can write a book, I can teach people how to grow their channels, I can educate people, I can teach people. So I'm going to work on all of these things, and through life, when I reach these goals as well, then I will want to work on something else, because I know I will get stuck eventually. So yeah, what I realized was that freedom for my mother that would come from money was one of the best goals that I had. But when I served my mother, and I felt like I just did things so that things would stay that way, I would feel stuck, and now I had to take risks. Because if we're hyper avoiding risk, we're also hyper avoiding success. And you need to take risks, and you need to expand your identity in order to, and let go of your old self in order to grow. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed the video. Stay blessed by the best, and if you stay small enough, long enough, you'll be big enough soon enough.